All right. Just give it till 7:05 and people get in. And then, yeah, we'll begin with today's BVP Zoom session, Sunday, 30 July, 2023.
Yeah, man.
Man, no one.
Living so according to
I know, yeah. I was just saying now, just let's give it till 7:05, just to, whoever comes in.
what?
I'm just saying, I'm giving it till 7:05. Or whoever needs to get in, they can get in and then get active.
Alright.
All right, cool. Class is in session. Um, you know, um, I just like for whoever's gonna be seeing this, I wish you nothing but positivity. I wish you nothing but the best. On whatever day you're viewing this, I just hope that your day is going well. And yeah, so yeah, let's get into the topic for today, which is gonna be supply and demand slash support and resistance. So I understand in the retail trading community that support and resistance, supply and demand. It's a very common term that we familiarize ourselves with, especially once you're a trader of smart money concept, all that institution type of trading. So one thing I want to get clear is that these setups or these strategies that we say are so confidential, are so 90% correct, yada yada yada. These are all just strategies that the banks use, but then they just know how to execute it way better than we do, of course, because we trade the reaction and not the initial movement, like I said before. Go to our previous videos to check that out. You understand? So I just need to get that out the way. So supply and demand, support and resistance. So I'd like for you to just think of support as, I would say, our concrete floor. The first step we take. The ground level, the neutral level. Let's think of that as support. Understand? Supply. Understand? And let's think of resistance as a ceiling or a roof in which price will normally go to, but then could be too weak or strong enough to just break through that area. Understand? So I'll just quickly like to share my screen so we can get into the fundamentals of what a support and resistance is. Okay. Let's see. Open. What is this? This one for me. Okay, so basically, what is the support level, right? So as we can see here, it says a support level is a price level at which the followed financial instrument could face increased buying pressure. For example, demand. Support levels are usually previous swing lows in price, but can also be price levels located on technical tools such as trend line channels and Fibonacci levels. So right then and there, I would really like for you to have that idea and thought of a roof and a ceiling, but obviously in this case it would be, the ground floor and the ceiling. So in this case, you think of the ground floor, of which price normally, and if you pay attention, it's detailed that price will normally trade to those levels. So we call, not that we call, but then those would be areas of high demand where money would be pumped in by the institutions and price could either go in either direction very, very, very quickly, So that's just the support, right? So now support and how it occurs. Understand? So support occurs when falling prices stop, change direction, and begin to rise. Support is often viewed as a floor, which is supporting or holding up price. Resistance is a price level where rising prices stop, change direction, and begin to fall. I hope everyone is listening and understands that very, very, very well. Understand? Okay, so this is a typical example of how you trade supply and demand, support and resistance. Understand? So initially you'd want to have entered from the lower level here, of which would be the supply, trailing up to the demand zone. Understand? So I think if I can remember properly, price did in actual fact push a little bit higher than this, but then actually come back down, obviously in which they were probably collecting the stop losses that had been here for a couple of time, understand? So, okay, now what is the resistance level? Resistance levels are similar to support levels, with the only difference that they signal a price level at which an asset could face increased selling pressure, i.e. supply. Resistance levels form a previous swing high, but can also form at other technical tools, just like in case of support levels. So just think of them as the same thing, but then look at it differently in terms of this one would be higher, this one would be lower. So just look to target the highs or the lows. Understand? Yeah, man, are you saying anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let me switch off my.
So, okay. So now, okay, now that you understand how you'd be able to identify support and resistance, now we have to understand that these do actually change roles. So in actual fact, sometimes you wouldn't necessarily see a high the way it represents itself to the traditional support and resistance. So support and resistance can showcase itself through sometimes what we call channels or what we call areas or levels, key levels. Understand? So I'd like to just share my screen and show this real quick. Okay, an important phenomenon that occurs in the market over and over again is the changing of roles between support and resistance level. When the price drops below a support level, there's a high chance that the same level will act as a resistance in the future. So there's another key note to take right there is that once price has reached these key levels, it's important to scale in and actually pay attention to your candlestick types and what they're doing at that time and whether they agree with your higher time frame analysis. Because right then and there, you'll spot whether the institutions want to either go higher or lower. So it's important to take that to note and understand that these things, these small things do play a role. They do play a part in how your outcome happens. You understand? Because oftentimes we sit there as traders and we say, no, but price traded up to the support level and just continued going lower. But you never sit down and ask yourself, okay, what made it go lower? You know, where you have to go back and do your homework. Understand? Because this trading thing, to an extent, is like a school. You know, like we had said in previous Zoom sessions that this is just the school where you pay school fees and not get the certificate. You know, but you get you get the knowledge. Understand? So it's the school fees that you pay when you hit that stop loss. And it's important to always go back and do what corrections. That's the nice thing I love about it. Understand? Because you're able to go back and do your corrections and see where you went wrong. Understand? So yeah, that's just one key point that I really want everyone to take with them and understand that this trading thing it requires a certain level of, I'd say, we could say it's self-determination and just sheer will at the end of the day, just sheer will. Understand? So now I want us to go into what types of ways you would be able to spot support or resistance. Because oftentimes, like I said, it wouldn't occur like that high and low that would be traditionally shown or represented. So we have what are called round numbers. So this, if anything, is something I've just been exposed to recently, where if you look at the tick numbering of your not position of your instrument, you'll see that oftentimes price reacts differently to whole numbers. You know, when it gets to whole numbers, price sometimes acts differently. So, like being here, say round numbers. Psychologically, round numbers price levels often act as support and resistance levels, as they can host a large number of pending buy and sell orders placed by a market. Clue number one. Participants. Examples of importance of round numbers can be found in various financial markets, the 120, the 125, or the 130. Exchange rates could act as important levels in the GBP USD pair. Understand? So it's important to take note of these round and whole numbers when looking at the numbering of your tick movement on the charts, because these play key roles once they start agreeing with your higher time frame analysis and just overall your strategy. Because yeah, they could really take you a step further. But then all of this is just if you really want to be as extra like that, to be really sure. Of course, that's all you want. But then at the end of the day, some things just play out the way they're supposed to play out, and you're there at the right time. You don't even need to do much. Understand? But that's really how it is. It's the trading business, and we can't discredit it whatsoever. So the next one I'd like us to go to is trend lines. So we all know the trend line business and how it happens, yada 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 yada, right? But have you ever looked at trend line as support and resistance? But obviously this has to be off of experience. But then just now that you're thinking about it, within the BBP space, and we've asked you the question, have you ever thought of trend line channels as support and resistance? So like it says here, support and resistance levels can also form at trend lines and channels. The following chart shows that the 15 minutes, which in my case would be the VIX 10 chart, with support levels marked by the green lines, which should be on my chart, or the black lines in actual fact. So let me just share my screen on that one. Just to give an example of basic highs and lows. So when you look at this trade, this was a trade taken on VIX 10 not so long ago. If anything, take profit was hit. But one major thing I'd really like to show you is how support and resistance was able to be spotted. So on the higher time frames, if you look, this area is a key area in which price came here to retest and form this double top, like seen here, right? And now what I want you to really take into consideration, and which aligns into today's lesson, is that this channel that price had created here, this channel, whereas we see that this was a key support level where price was bouncing off multiple times. So we knew that as price got here, it would eventually do something. And especially like Howard, what I mentioned is that the more times price tests a key area or a key zone, is the more likely it is to break past it. Please take that into consideration. Most likely, most of the time, especially when we see more than 3 attempts, we know that price will be shifting from that area quite aggressively. So as you can see, yes, this was the high, this was the low, and along with the confluence of the channel form, in which we could possibly even do this, just to give you a rough idea of what happened here. You could see, so this would be, this area here, down here, would be your supply. That would be your demand. Obviously, as you can see, going in a channel form. So not necessarily, because as you can see, this is your traditional high and low, and then this would be your high, low, or no, high, low. Understand? Because we see that, okay, price doesn't want to go higher or break through this higher level that has been created here in form of a channel. Understand? So that's one thing I really want you to take into consideration too. And yeah, moving on to the last one is, a lot of my forex traders they use it a lot, and I know for sure they use it a lot, but it would be Fibonacci support and resistance. The Fibonacci tool is often used to identify price reversals during market corrections. In other words, Fibonacci levels could act as support and resistance for the price, as shown on the following chart. Understand? So how I'd like you to, especially now with my forex traders, we love that 63% zone where price would just do that clean wick reversal, where you'd be entering, going to collect multiple pips. Understand? But what I want you to think about is how when drawing your Fibonacci retracement level, just have that idea of support and resistance, because all you're doing is drawing from the high to the low, from the low to the high. As simple as that. Understand? And what I like about it is that you find contentment in such in this form of looking at the charts with smart money concept, because you're just targeting the swing high or the swing low. Anything after that, the market can keep. Understand? So for people who are really looking into going into scalping, please, yeah, this would be something very beneficial to really spot out these supply and demand zones, because they really become very beneficial when it comes to your trading. So yeah, just have a look at that and just, make sure you execute as good as possible, because it be like that. It be like that for real. So yeah, if anything, I didn't really want to waste too much time, but then this was just a quick rundown through basically support and resistance, supply and demand, because there's been traffic in the air about support and resistance levels, how to trade them, when to trade them, etc. And from my point of view, I do not think that there's one specific way to approach them. I just think that there's a general way. And after the general way is where you would add your own little things to it to obviously benefit you and your account situation at that time. So please don't just run off with all that I'm saying and say, yeah, but you said this. No. Um, it does come with a certain level of experience where you just really need to apply yourself and just add your own little things that really benefit you. Because at the end of the day, we all view the market in a general way, like I said, but then there's a certain way in which you would look at it, in which I wouldn't look at. So this is just the skeleton that I've handed over, in which I would say and recommend that it would be if not the best to really look forward to and executing your trading plan. But all in all, that has been quick fix here on the line here today. Dropped a quick banger on you. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed that. And we do have a chat room, which is pinned on the Telegram channel, in which you can come back to this video and just provide some questions, any questions you'd want to see, you'd want to ask, just bring them forward in the chat room where we could all have a general conversation about it and just have our different points of view, or you could come on a personal side. All is good. It's all love anyway. So yeah, I'd just like to pass it over to Dante to see if he has anything to say in regards of today's lesson. But yeah, Dante, it's on to you.
On to me. Okay.
Yeah, just a quick,
Uh,
a quick word, just for everyone to see that he's okay.
quick word.
Yeah, quick word for the people.
If anything, like, yo, peace to you. I'm proud of you for having come this far. You and everybody listening to this. Like, I'm proud of you for having made it this far in your trading journey. I know if you're watching this again, you are taking an effort to better yourself in something that you want to do and something that you know will have a positive impact on your future and the future of people around you. So keep going. I'm proud of you for making it this far, but you got to keep going. There's still more to uncover. There's still more to do. But just be grateful and acknowledge how far you've come, considering where you began and what made you take this step. That's all I can say for now.
Nah, thank you. Appreciate the words. Appreciate the words. And if anything, I'm proud of you too. I'm really proud of you. And again, to whoever's watching this, because we all have different life situations going on, but the fact that you're taking your time to get this far means that you do have some form of belief or some hope that, like he said, that this will change your life and the lives around you one day, someday. So yeah, if anything, blessings, and we appreciate the support. You know, if anything, we're just gonna keep growing together on the charts and off the charts. We're gonna just keep growing, becoming one huge family as the BVP community. You know, so yeah, it has been real. It has been nice. And as always, clip will be available on Telegram channel, and there will be a surprise coming soon for you guys, in which we think would really be beneficial for the BVP. So just watch out for that. And yeah, it has been us, it has been BVP in and out. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, and or whenever you're watching this, enjoy the rest of the day. And to those watching this on the Sunday, or the next morning, let's just have a profitable week, and nothing but wisdom and blessings your way. So yeah, BVP in and out.